My hair really isn't cooperating today. Okay, you look like a noodle. It's fine. Hi friends, it's Grace. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be doing my top 5 books I read in spring. I went through my Goodreads and I wrote down my top 5 favorite books. Coincidentally, I think they're in order. So first book is On Writing by Stephen King. I've never read Stephen King, like fiction-wise, in my life, but for some reason, like I just trust him. Obviously, he's successful for a reason and he's written so many books. It was super inspiring to read about. Not so much the advice, because I feel like most people who are into writing know the typical like rules to writing. We just need a little bit of inspiration. And I find reading books like this are really inspiring, especially from people like Stephen King. If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. I read this for my summer reading challenge. I knew nothing about this. I have no idea what the fuck to say now, because it fucked me up. It hurt my brain. I don't know what to say. It's about 7 theater students in this like really prestigious competitive school. Shit happens. It's crazy. The reason I knew nothing about this book is because it's impossible to explain. This is why no one talks about what this is about, because who, how, I don't know. I have had to refilm this part of the video 3 times. I keep getting cut off. It's probably because I'm talking shit and I shouldn't be, because this is a positive video where I talk about my favorite books, but you know, even our favorite books have flaws, so I'm gonna rant. Anyway, I'm sure you're wondering, Grace, if you love this book so much, if it fucked you up so much, if you liked it, why are you complaining? Well, it has 7 characters, right? 3 of them are girls and 4 of them are guys. The male characters were so well developed, so 3-dimensional. They were great. Female characters were also great, because this book was great and the writing was amazing. But the female characters played such a smaller role. Their characters were a lot less fleshed out. They were still fleshed out because this book was great, but they were a lot less fleshed out. You get into a book and you don't know how the representation is going to be unless you've read reviews and stuff and people talk about it. But you don't know how it's going to be until you're a good way through the book, because you don't know who's going to get introduced. You don't know how the character development is going to go. And by then, you were already hooked. Like, I was already in love with this book by the time I realized or like noticed this thing about the girl. Yes, I get it that we can like books and still see their problems. It's not like I hate this book and it's not bad. I obviously loved it or else it wouldn't be in this video. What are you supposed to do? Like, these books shouldn't even exist in 2018. And that brings me to the next book I want to talk about, which is Legendary by Stephanie Garber. This book is my ideal book. It has everything I would want. I realized that everyone's straight and white. And see, I thought a couple of the characters were black, but then I saw fan art and apparently they're not. I get fan art is like subjective, but Stephanie Garber put it on her Instagram page, so it's great, but how can I say something's perfect or my perfect book if it's just whitewashed and heteronormative? It's 2018. This shouldn't be happening, and I don't want to endorse these books, but I loved them both so much. They were so enjoyable to read. When I read Caraval, I didn't like Caraval nearly as much as this because the characters were a lot more boring and whatever. That doesn't matter. We're being positive. I talked about that in my review, how everyone was straight, and people were getting mad at me. They're like, what does that have to do with the book? But like, it has everything to do with the book, because like representation is really important. To see yourself in a book, a mainstream book, is so important. And even if you're not looking for representation for yourself, if you're not reading diverse books, how are you improving yourself? How are you getting more empathetic? How are you learning about the people around you? Like, the world is not just one type of person or 2 type of people. The bad boy and the girl that falls in love with them. That's not all this book is. I know, it's so fun. I enjoyed every freaking second of it, but like, I don't know. Moving on to what I think is actually the perfect book, and that is The Nowhere Girls by Amy Reed. I absolutely love this book. This will be 100% positive because it made me smile so much. This book is about a group of girls coming together to get justice for a girl who was raped and not believed, and she was basically ridiculed out of town because she came forward about her rape. Reading about all these girls coming together to get justice for this girl who was so terribly bullied is so beautiful, and it was so nice, and I just loved it. The conversations around rape culture were absolutely amazing. The different points of view you get, it's from 3 points of view, but you also get other points of view in little snippets. It wasn't just focused on one person and their perspective on rape and how rape culture affects them. And it was so entertaining, and I loved the characters, and it was beautifully, beautifully, beautifully written. I just read it last month, and I already lent it to my cousin because I need everyone to read it. It was so great, and I loved it, and it would be my top book of spring, maybe even the year, but I read Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows in May. I loved it. Surprisingly, didn't care that we weren't at Hogwarts. I think I liked it more because we weren't. The stakes were so high. You already are so obsessed with all the characters. It was great. I loved it. I loved all the pain it caused me. It was beautiful. I loved it. That's my video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for dealing with my rants. Hopefully next time I try to do a positive video. It'll remain positive, but for now, you know, it's good to have nice, healthy discussions. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. Tell me what your favorite book you read in spring was, because I want to know. Bye!